Hello, it's Reija and welcome to another video. Today I am going to do the TBR for one of my favorite readathons, which is Borrowathon. Borrowathon is hosted by Riley from RM FigFac and I will leave her announcement video down in the description. So we are now on round 5 of Borrowathon. And last year when I first joined BookTube, Borrowathon Round 2 was the very first readathon that I ever participated in. And after that I've made a point of participating in every round because I just think that library awareness is something that I am personally very passionate about, and I just think that this is such a lovely readathon and a lovely community that's formed around this particular readathon. So without further ado, let's get started with the books I'm going to read. So first things first, Borrowathon will take place on November 4th until November 11th. So it starts on a Sunday and it's a week-long readathon. And I am really excited because I actually have a vacation on that week, meaning that I don't have any mandatory obligations or mandatory lectures at school. So I am making a point of trying to get as much reading done as possible. Which is good because I went really overboard with my book lending, as you will see. First two titles that I have are Volume 1 and 2 of 10 Count by Rihito Takarai. This is a BL or Boys Love manga series about this guy who is a germaphobe and his relationship with another man. And that's all I know. It is one of the more popular series that's gotten a lot of traction right now. It has gotten figures and Nendoroids made of it and lots of merch. I think it's getting an anime soon, and a lot of my friends who also read BL have recommended it. So when I saw that our library had it, I decided to pick up the first 2 volumes to see what it's all about. Next I have the first 3 volumes of A Silent Voice by Yoshitoki Oima, and this is also another series that I've been hearing so much hype about. It is basically about a boy who starts bullying this girl when they are in elementary school, I think, because the girl is deaf. And then later he himself gets bullied, so the tables kind of turn on him. And it is about that sort of how to deal with bullying, what makes you bully someone, the justifications behind it, seeking redemption, etc. And I am really interested about the deaf representation in this. I am interested to see where the story goes and whether this character will get redeemed. As a person who has been severely bullied in the past, I am kind of interested to see how this narrative is handled. Next I have Library Wars Volume 1 by Kiiro Yumi and Hiro Arikawa, and this fits 2 challenges for this readathon. First is to read a book that you've never heard of, and I had never heard of this. I just saw this on a table at my local library, and the premise sounds ridiculous. Listen to this. In the near future, the federal government creates a committee to rid society of books it deems unsuitable. The libraries vow to protect their collections and with the help of local governments form a military group to defend themselves, the library forces. This sounds so wacky that I just had to get the first volume to see what it's all about. And the next challenge that it completes is to read a book that features a library. So it's all about library wars, so it fits. Then I have the next 2 volumes, volumes 2 and 3 of Sunny by Taiyou Matsumoto, who is the author of Tekkon Kinkret. And I read the first volume of Sunny back in January and I really loved it. I gave that volume 5 stars. This story follows children who are living in a foster care system. They are living in a sort of orphanage or a foster house. And it is about their various struggles. Each volume kind of focuses on 1 or 2 of the children living in the house and how they came to be there and what their personal struggles are. And this is just such a raw experience. It takes place in 70s Japan, and it kind of focuses on the social structure of that era, the financial situations, and also the kind of societal issues that were prevalent in that era. And it is very interesting, and I highly recommend, based on the first volume, and I'm eager to pick the next 2 up. Then I have Supermutant Magic Academy by Jillian Tamaki, and this is the first Jillian Tamaki book that I am going to be reading. I have heard a lot about her work, I know a lot about her work, but I've never actually read anything by her. And I think I first saw this on Frankie's channel, at Frankie Reads, and then later I have seen it on Lauren's channel, on Lauren and the Books. And when I saw it at my local library, I picked it up because I can't help myself. And from what I understand, it is basically a school where there are people with superpowers, and it's kind of just this sort of high school drama, and I'm here for it. I can't wait. Then I have Lumberjanes. This is the first To the Max edition, volume 1, so this collects, I don't actually know how many of the single issues this collects, but it is a pretty good chunk of the series. And I have seen Lumberjanes make the rounds on BookTube for a really long while now, and many of my good BookTube friends and people I follow regularly have read this series. And I just thought that, okay, now is a good time to get on the bandwagon, since I can get these max editions from the library and get a huge chunk read at the same time. And this follows a very diverse group of girls that are, they are in a summer camp basically, and there's all sorts of magical elements happening. And from what I understand, there's also a lot of queer characters, which is always a plus. So really looking forward to picking this up. And then this is the last graphic novel that I have. This is The Witch Boy by Molly Knox Ostertag. And this is about witchcraft and witches, and it's also a sort of there's also a sort of like metaphor for a transgender narrative, which is really exciting. I first heard about this on Cece's channel on Problems of a Book, of Problems of a Bookworm, and also on Sylvia's channel on Wish Fulfillment, and saw this at the library, picked it up. Most of these I just picked from the stacks. I had a really nice walk through my library, and I just picked whatever fancied my eye, so I got a lot of different titles. Moving on to the novels and novellas. First I have The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Bolander, and this fits the challenge of read a book with 150 pages or less. This is a really short novella about elephants who are oppressed and have this collective memory, like if an elephant like 200 years ago has experienced something, then an elephant in the present day will remember it. There's just this kind of collective consciousness and collective hive mind between the elephants, from what I gather. I have seen so many reviews of this. Kelsey from the Fancy Hat Lady did a really extensive review which caught my eye and interest in this novella, but I actually have managed to block many of the summary elements of what this book is about from my mind, which is all well and good because I like to go into books pretty blind. I want to form my own opinions and own thoughts, so looking forward to reading this. Next I have River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey, which is the first part of the novella duology American Hippo, and the premise alone has made me want to read these novellas ever since I first heard about them. There's cowboys on hippos. Best thing ever. I'm just, if you saw me gush about the battle rhinos in Black Panther, you know this is my kind of shit right here. I love this kind of thing. So this is definitely going to be one of my top priorities during Borrowathon. Next I have Rosewater by Tade Thompson. This is a book that is a science fiction story that takes place in Nigeria in 2066. The hopeful and the helpless congregate around an alien biodome seeking salvation. Rosewater is a town on the edge. This just sounds really interesting, and it sounds like it will do the things that District 9 wish it did. And I am really looking forward to it. And this, for me, fills the challenge of read a book you'll think you will love. And I think this will definitely be a book that's right up my alley, and I expect to love it. And finally, the last book on my Borrowathon Round 5 TBR is Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. And this fulfills the challenge of reading a 2018 release. And I don't really know what to say about it. Thomas from SFF 180 did a very good review about this, which summarizes all the things. I will leave that link down below. And also Sam from Sam's Nonsense talked about this. And I have just been expecting this book ever since it started making the rounds on BookTube, and I just feel like it will be for me. There's also lesbian romance in this, if I've heard the rumors correctly, which is making me all sorts of excited. Like lesbian romance at the center of a high-stakes fantasy novel doesn't happen too often, so I am here for it. And there you have it. This has been my huge TBR for Borrowathon Round 5. Tell me in the comments what are your plans regarding Borrowathon. Are you going to participate? What are some of the books that you have recently loaned out from the library? Tell me in the comments. And I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!